all the talking points, the first one you pretty much brought up was the fact that I'm not having him as a great manager yet because he hasn't pulled a team up by the scruff of the neck.
Hasn't built
Which is a strange thing to say considering he's just won his third Champions League title on the bounce.
Well, I think it's relevant.
Why?
Because he has done a great job, but he's managing a great football club with great players, and he has managed the egos fantastically well, right? There's a difference in doing that than being a great manager over a longer period of time. And I mentioned two names, and I'm sure there are lots of names, but I just mentioned two. One in particular is Alex Ferguson, and the other one who's had a lot of stick is Arsene Wenger, who went into Arsenal and changed the face of the club and pulled him up by the scruff of the neck.
All right, yeah, well done. All right, OK, I get
that. Well, that's my argument.
No, I get
well, that's
that.
my argument. So why are you arguing against it?
I'm not arguing against it. I just don't know why you think it's a relevant point.
But it's relevant to those people that are going, oh, this is one of the greatest managers. It's not.
I don't think anyone is saying he's the greatest manager of all time,
I saw a lot of people saying this guy is just fantastic.
But you can't poo-poo his achievement just saying, look, he's got great players.
When Luis Enrique was at Roma, he had a stinker. Barcelona with Messi and all the great players.
Zinedine Zidane isn't Luis Enrique.
Wait, he did great. We're still waiting to see really how great a manager Luis Enrique is if he ever goes into another club. I think that is the same with Zinedine Zidane. If he goes and takes a club that are not sitting top of the league and haven't got the biggest budget and do need an overhaul.
But why is that even a conversation? I don't even get it.
Well, it's a conversation.
Can't you just applaud him for what he's achieved?
I did.
You did for about 2 seconds. Are you talking about scruff of the neck?
Would you like it 6 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds?
I
like to put some perspective on things because people get carried away too quick. When you're looking at great managers, you're looking at people who have gone in, built, rebuilt, gone again, signed again, failed, come back, been stronger, won it all. We're talking about the Fergusons of this world.
But that's a completely different conversation, isn't it? Like, Fergie and Wenger, if you like, are very much on the upper echelon of this conversation.
If you want to have a Zinedine Zidane love-in, you can have it.
I don't want to have a love-in.
I don't think it's a case of a Zinedine Zidane love-in, but you've got to appreciate and recognise what he's done. And yes, it's a great football team with great players, but it's 3 Champions Leagues in a row. And if it was just down to having a great team and great players, then Sir Alex Ferguson would have won it again in 2000 and then 2001. And then Pep Guardiola would have won it three seasons running. But they didn't. And I think you have to appreciate what he's done.
A great club. We don't know.
Rafa Benitez was a great club. Rafa Benitez had the same squad, couldn't get it done.
Rafa Benitez has won the Champions League and he's won La Liga with a much smaller team.
But Zinedine Zidane...
Just because you have a bunch of Real Madrid fans coming on now on social media or wherever the platform is and saying... This is proof positive that Zinedine Zidane is the best manager ever. That doesn't make it a talking point or a rubbish what he's done.
I'm not listening to what some bampots are saying on social media. All I'm saying is a bit of perspective here. We don't know how good a manager Zinedine Zidane really is until he grabs something and turns it around.
But Guardiola hasn't grabbed something and turned it around, has he?
We can throw that. We could possibly throw that at him in some respect, but he did turn around Barcelona, who were struggling at the time. Now, you can throw the argument about Pep Guardiola that he's picked and choose some of the biggest clubs and the richest clubs to get the job done. I give you that. That is an argument that we could have and probably...
But it's all hypotheticals, obviously. If Zidane takes over from France, say Deschamps goes at the end of the summer and leads France to the World Cup, you'll just say, well, he's got a great squad of players.
Well, that's hypothetical. We're talking about club management here. I just like to have a bit of perspective because everybody, people get carried away. He's managed Real Madrid particularly well. He's managed the egos well. He's got a lot of respect from his playing days. He got his tactics right. He worked with the roster that he had. But I would still want to see him take a job and turn the club around and really show he can manage players that haven't got the skill level that Real Madrid have. I think Ferguson did that. He did it at Aberdeen.
I don't know why you keep bringing it back to Ferguson. No one is saying that Zidane is better than Ferguson. We're just saying what he's achieved has been momentous.
I'm using the fact the modern-day manager likes to pick and choose when he takes a job, when he takes a rest. and he cherry picks.
But what's wrong with that? If you've got the opportunity to do that,
That's not. That's
Messi,
not a great manager. That's a cherry picker.
Should Messi go and play for Crystal Palace just to prove that he can work his way up the league?
That is not a great manager. That's someone who cherry picks the richest clubs with the best players. Right, that's not a great manager.
So he should go, right, no, actually, I don't want to manage
Jose
him.
Mourinho was a great manager. He took Porto to a Europa League final.
And since then, he's cherry-picked.
He did not pick. There's nobody out there cherry-picking Porto.
No, but after Porto, he's cherry-picked because of what he's achieved.
He won back-to-back European competitions, the UEFA Cup and the Champions League with Porto.
Yes.
And then he did it with Inter Milan, who weren't the greatest team, by the way, and they weren't great to watch. Great manager. Might not be the most favourable manager at the moment. Great manager.
But he can cherry-pick now.
Well, he can't now because
of what he did at Porto.
Yeah.
And Zidane can cherry-pick because he's just won 3 Champions Leagues in a row.
No, listen, cherry-picking because of what you do at Porto and cherry-picking because of what you do at Real Madrid is a kettle of fish.
Julian Aron.
Sorry, Julian.
Welcome to the conversation. What do you make of this nonsense?
I think it's a fair debate. I understand, some of the skepticism in a way that Craig has over where do you rank Zidane compared to other big managers. There's obviously pros and cons. I think what he's done is simply incredible because we talked about Mourinho just now. Mourinho spent 3 years at Real Madrid, didn't win 3 Champions League in a row with a squad as good as Zidane's one, for example. Carlo Ancelotti spent his whole managerial career in top clubs, and yet he's still one of the greatest managers because he's been very successful, and yet he's only been at top clubs. So I think it's a bit harsh to, wait for Zidane to do it at Derby County or, in the French second division and get there all the way to the Champions League final. But I can see Craig's points, and I think a lot of people, even in France, share that point, saying like, whoa, let's wait a little bit more and see what he's going to do next when he's not at Real Madrid. But I can also see, Shaka, your point. And
come on, stop setting Stop setting the fence, Julian.
It's true. What he's done is incredible. But what he's done is incredible.
Yes.
Loads of managers have been at Real Madrid for as long as him and haven't done what he did. So why should we, underappreciate and undervalue?
No, it's not Sir Alex Ferguson. That's the problem, it seems. He's not Scottish and he's not Fergie.
It's a Scottish thing.
Go out there and shut up. Go out there and prove yourself.
Why? Why has he got to prove himself to you?
Well, it's not to me.
To who then?
Just prove yourself.
Why? He's just won 3 Champions Leagues.
Yeah, we're one of the greatest clubs in the world.
But who's he proving himself to?
No, listen, all I'm saying is, to anyone who's saying, great manager, he's up. No, he's not. Like Luis Enrique, winning it with Messi, being successful. No, he's not. Not at all.